All right, everyone, welcome back for match 3, Hot Takes. I'm Kent Ketter. This is Knightfall. And we won another die roll. Woo! Hand looks great, and then you realize that it's missing a forest. So we'll ship it. And we will keep this hot, spicy number. Get a blue, green. Doesn't matter, but we'll put it on bottom. Blue, green, noble hierarch. Blue, green. Yes, I would. And F6. All right. Let's hope our opponent is like elves. Lotus Blizzum. So, a little ad nauseum action here. Okay. I see where we're coming from. Let's pass the turn, I guess. If our opponent tries to Pentad Prism, we'll snap that off. Yeah, Pentad Prism. That's the one we're looking for. Gotta get him with the old Pentad. I guess getting a Lotus Bloom isn't bad either. Oof. Hit the land here. Yep. Okay. So now, regardless of the end of turn outcome from our opponent, we look like we're in a good place to collect a company, maybe find a knight, untap, and get them. It'd be nice if our opponent cast something, though. So they're just going to pass the whole turnover. So the question is, now what do we do? Want to attack with this. Is there a way I can do all three? So 3, untap. Okay, there is. Don't think our opponent, I mean, I guess they could. Nope, they choose not to. Like a champ. And then we're going to untap this. Seems great. Giving us access to 4 mana. Attack for a couple. And then we're just going to go. We're going to go. Damage seems great. And we're just going to spell Queller. I mean, probably his Lotus Bloom. Can't imagine there's much that they would want. Blue, white. They packed that. And then we're going to try to get them here, but they just go Angel's Grace, and then we F6 and make them show us their win condition. Let's take a look at the revealed zone, get a good feel for what we're going to be dealing with. The usuals. Unlife, teachings, lightning storm. So I wonder if they have enough. Okay, so they do have the laboratory maniac. And it's only 2 simian spirit guides. I mean, they have the whole. There's the 3rd spirit guide. Okay. And they're just going to select that one. That's fine. We'll concede. Okie dokie. So, combo deck. Let's bring in this. Let's take out the cards that we really don't need. Oh, those seem less important. I'd rather just have a bunch of things. Okay, well, we bring in negates and we cut the Path to Exiles. Well, Path actually interacts with Laboratory Maniac, so maybe we want it less so than those. Yeah, we'll keep in a couple paths. Collected Company might not do a whole lot for us, but that's okay. Yeah. Matchup doesn't seem great. Ad nauseum is it's a good deck. You get to work around a lot of what the format is. You work around a lot of what the format is doing. Mostly in that you are like either just saying you can't lose the game on a given turn with Angel's Grace, or which, like, Angel's Grace is just such a ridiculous card. I think that card is one of the more absurd effects in Modern, but it's like wonderful in that it's nothing, you know, broken or like really driving you. We'll keep this hand. This hand is great, I think. Play a tapped Hollowed Fountain. And we'll pass back. Getting a quick Pride Mage is like, obviously, it's whatever, but... getting a quick Pride Mage is whatever, but having like mono discard or counter spells from there seems great. The downside is that on the big turn, like, we really only get to cast 1. And that doesn't seem too great. Two on Suspendo. So we'll be negating the ad nauseum in this given situation. Oof, that is a tough one to deal with. Oh, sure. So there's something to be said there for blowing this up and just taking his Pentad Prism, or my opponent's Pentad Prism. But I think the issue is that if I do that and give up the clock, they're just looking at, you know, 1,000,000 mana in a couple turns anyway, which is really tough to deal with. Really just wanted to hit land, have double negate for the ad nauseum that'll have to be cast. Yeah, opponent has bazillion mana. That's an official number. Bazillion. Okay. I'm just gonna try to beat up the bad person with attacks. I would imagine my opponent has the pact negation, but maybe not. I also think it was appropriate. Obviously, when the first Pintad Prism snuck through, it was, you know, annoying, whatever. But the double Lotus Bloom made it pretty obvious that the hinge, or the, you know, kind of the pinch for our opponent, the restriction, was not going to be on their mana. They had a couple turns to wait. So I felt like as soon as that became apparent, it was a much better sequence to be able to get a bunch of negates going. So opponent went to 6 mana. Assumes this is just going to be like a bunch of things at once. Oh. Okay. You are allowed to have that. What color? White. Interesting. So I don't know if I can beat that, but sure the heck gonna try, because it cuts off spell callers. I'll tap you. No. So we are the brakes are on. Holy smokes, that thing's enormous. Is this a common like oh wait. It's probably part of a gifts ungiven package. That would make sense, but like just yeah. Double Lotus Bloom. We're hard casting this. It's not a thing, right? I hope that's not a thing. It's kind of funny. Okie dokie. Ow. White's a shrewd name as well by the opposing forces. This is a nice one, though. Get to attack for 5. Rar. Or for 4. So, yep, you get both those triggers. Racing is not gonna happen. Sorry, racing's not gonna happen with the given hand, but we can get close. The collected company at end of turn will have an interesting impact. Going to negate here. Yep. So the thought there is if you negate that spell, the opponent can't respond with the pact negation, where if the other sequence is true, you try to respond to maybe the gifts package that they've been. That is a very important Simian Spirit Guide. That makes the race so much different. Interesting. Okay, so we attack for this much, and then we hope the top of the deck gives us any sort of blocker. Actually, I think I do it on this turn, but I mean, they have the mana, so that's not really like a big deal. 1 card in hand, though. Is there anything that I would hit off of this that would change? No, no, no. Well, let's just do it, figure out where we're at. So I expect to block with this, so that makes this a little bit better. If I put a Queller and a bird in play, gives me 2 chumps. It's kind of nice. Yeah. That might end up being the... Yeah, so the double blocker company is probably the best company I could hit there. Okay. block. I like blocking. It's fun. Let's cast this here, though. I want to see if we hit more blockers. We do. Use the exalted triggers because we got them. We have a 2/2 Knight of the Reliquary, though. That is not where we want to be. So from here, I guess we're just trying to eke out damage versus race. So can we 4, 5, 6? Ugh. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a way we can deal lethal this turn. I don't think there is. So I don't have a red source to be able to kick. So we're just going to go with the old attack. Get our 4 damage in. I mean, we might very well just be dead to the first. Angel's Grace from our opponent. Very, very possible, and that's very, very okay. I feel like any small edges you can eke out in this matchup are great. Any big edges you get are just like ludicrous. Collected Company's been pretty nice because we really just need like X amount of blockers. So I'm going to get the Horizon Canopy, try to hit 1 extra card. Do not. Guess the counter here is to try to... So... Yeah, I'm gonna go for the maximum thinning possible here and just get 1 additional card out of the deck. Let's put I'll get 2 additional ones out of there actually, because the life totals are relevant. Actually, a Misty Rainforest helps us with the retreat to Coral Helm if we draw that. We do not. So we just have to see if this kills our opponent. I mean, it very well could. Attack. Yeah, we're negating this. Whew! Alright. Is this just going to be good enough? No! No, it's not! And we're dead! Oh well. You got us. Fudge. Opponent goes to 1. I have no way to make it less. Oh, well. Okay. Lost to the combo deck. I think we did what we could there. I wanted to keep the fetch land because if I drew a retreat to Coral Helm, that gave me another out, and it didn't lock me off of company there. I'll take that sequence. Ad nauseum is a bad matchup. Just no thanks. Got a combo faster than them, which is doable. Didn't seem to happen there. Come back for match 4. Hopefully we'll have an actual combo. I want to put the knight next to the retreat and then do the tapping my tap. Come back for match 4. This was Kent Cutter with Hot Takes, bringing you a little Knightfall action.